Bright Beauty. Every student matters.
Hi students, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to start with the new chapter, that is Forest, Our Lifeline. Now, you must have heard about forest, and we have always said that forests are very, very important for our daily life, and they affect our day-to-day, functions and our environment. Why is it so? Why are we saying that forest acts as our lifeline? What are the things which we get from the forest, and why is it important for us to maintain the forest so that the environment around us and the climate remains stable? These are the few questions that we are going to answer in this chapter. We are going to understand the importance of forest in our environment and in our lives. And we'll also see what are the different things that are being done by the government to save the forest, right? Now, in this particular chapter, we are going to understand that the forest acts as green lungs. Why do they act as green lungs? You must have heard that, the Amazon rainforest is called as the lungs of the earth, right? The reason is that these forests produce lot of oxygen, and it is the oxygen is required by all the living beings for respiration. Apart from that, they also act as purifying systems. Why they are acting as purifying systems? What are the important aspects of having forest around us? We are going to understand that. So these are the two reasons why we call it as we call the forest our lifeline. First of all, because they are the lungs of our planet Earth, and they also act as the purifying system in the environment. Whenever we are talking about forest, nowadays there is a lot of awareness among people, and they have understood that what exactly is the importance of the forest, and the deforestation has reduced a lot, right? But still there are certain areas and certain regions where we can see deforestation, and that also we are going to discuss that how deforestation is actually harming not only the forest area but also our day-to-day lives, right? Now, first of all, let's move on and talk about forest. I'm pretty sure some of you must have gone to national forest, and you must have observed the area, the national forest, and what are the different things which you are able to see in it. Most of you might not have gone to such forests, and you might not have seen the forest in such a view. So this is the border view of the forest. Now, as you can see the border view, you will not be able to see any land, right? What you are able to see is the treetops, right? All of these are your treetops, and they are joined together in such a way that they are forming a green cover, right? So these tree tops form a kind of green cover, which helps we will see that what exactly is the use of this tree top and what exactly do we call it, right? So basically it performs the green cover over the land, right? Over the land. You can see that in this broader view, if you are standing, whenever you will go to a hill station, many times you will see this kind of scene where you're standing from a height and looking down at a forest. You won't be able to observe the land. Over here also in this picture, you are not able to see any land area in this particular picture because the trees are tall, and they are forming a green cover over the land, right? Now, this cover is not uniformly green. As you can see, why is it not uniformly green? Because there are various plants in it, right? Different types of plants are there. Also, the plants have different height. They have, there might be neem plant, there might be mango, there might be sal tree. There can be different kinds of plants in the forest, and that's why we see that the tree top has different kind of color as well. It is not uniformly green. Somewhere it is light green, somewhere it is reddish in color or brownish in color, right? Somewhere it is dark green, and so on. So it is not uniform because there are various plants or various trees that are present, and these trees are forming the green cover of the forest, right? So this is the broader view of the forest. Usually it is seen when you're standing at a height and then you are observing the forest. This kind of scene you'll be able to see whenever you will visit a hill station. If you have visited a hill station, try and remember if you were able to see such kind of scene, and whenever you're going to visit, please do observe it, right? So this is what we called as the green cover. Now let's talk about forest as a habitat. So basically when we say habitat, we know that habitat is the dwelling place, right? We call it the dwelling place. That means the place where the organisms are living, right? In this habitat, they are able to find food, they are able to find shelter, right? This habitat protects them, and also it is a breeding ground for them, right? So when we say the habitat, it the forest forms the habitat not only for the animals but also for the plants. You will find different kinds of animals in the habitat. You might find monkeys, you might find langurs, you might find bats and different kinds of birds, right? Also you will find different types of plants also in this. So forest acts as a habitat for both animals and plants. Animals and plants, right? And what is a habitat? Habitat is the dwelling place where both of these animals and plants are able to survive and thrive, right? Now whenever we are you must have gone, and some of you must have gone to the national parks, which are your protected forests. And whenever you must have seen that you go through a forest, you will find that some of the animals, they go higher up onto the trees. The birds start flying here and there. The reason is that when you are entering the inner parts of the forest, what you are doing is actually you are disturbing the habitat. While entering such kind of areas, one should keep really quiet, and so that they do not disturb the animals that are living there, right? Because the animals usually get startled because of the presence of human beings, and what they do is that they go higher up onto the animals like your monkeys and langurs. They go higher up onto the trees, and the birds, they start to fly away, right? This is the reason why, because whenever you enter deep into the forest, you are disturbing the peace and tranquility of the forest, and you're disturbing the animals. This also acts as the warning system. Why is it necessary for the animals to have such kind of warning systems? Because in forests there are different kinds of predators. When we say predators, we talk about the large animals who hunt other the animals which hunt other smaller animals like lions, tigers, right? Or leopards. All of these are the predators from which the smaller animals need to be careful. That's why whenever any animal, say a monkey, observes or sees or spots a tiger, usually it makes certain sounds, it makes movements so as to alert other animals as well, right? So this is the warning system that is utilized by the birds and animals like your monkeys, right? Now also there are different kinds of animals which are present in the forest. What are these animals? You can see there are wild boars, right? These are the wild boars. You will see this is a porcupine, right? This is a porcupine. Then you have elephants. Apart from that, there are jackals, right? Then there are deer. And as you go deeper into the forest, you may find various other kinds of animals and birds also, right? This is the also understand, whenever we are talking about animal of a particular area, it is not necessary that you will find the same kind of animal in all the areas. Different animals reside in different areas. Some of the animals you might find in the northern region, some of the animals you might find in the southern region of the country, right? Because both the regions do have forests, but the climatic condition of both the areas is quite different, and thus the animals in the forest are also quite different, right? Now, it is very important that a person, whenever, say, you are visiting the national forests, usually there's always a set area where you are allowed to move around, right? You cannot go deeper into the forest. One, the reason is that deepest forest consists of different kinds of predators. It might be dangerous for you, as well as it is not suitable for the animals as well, because again, like I said, it is the dwelling place for them. It is a place where they seek shelter, and your entrance or the presence of something unknown might it might startle them, right? So it is not a good thing to go deeper into the forest. Now, when we say the forest is the habitat, we say that it provides home for both animals as well as plants. So when we are talking about animals, we saw that different kinds of animals are there. Like I already named them. Some of the animals like boar, elephants, porcupine, etc. are present in the forest. Then there are certain other kinds of, there are different kinds of plants also which are present in a forest. These plants may be neem, right? There may be so many different kind of plants. There can be sal trees, there can be eucalyptus trees, right? And different other mango trees. See, the wild mango trees might be present. Then you might also see simil plant, you might see shisham, right? Then you might also find palash, fig, khair, amla, etc. There might be different plants also. There might be smaller plants like herbs also in it. Then these are the different kinds of trees which you might find in a particular forest, right? Why there are different kinds of trees and different kinds of plants that are present? Because forest provides a variety of climate that is there. In a forest there are different kinds of nutrients which are present. We'll talk about that also in detail, but as of now we'll see that when we were talking about forest, when we were talking about the broader view of the forest, we saw that how there were numerous of hundreds and thousands of plants, and especially the trees which we were able to visualize from the top, right? The reason why there are so many trees is because the kind of environment the forest provides, it allows growth of these plants properly. Then apart from the trees, there are also shrubs, right? There are also herbs, grasses in the forest, right? In the forest floor, where the trees are also there, they are covered with different kinds of creepers and climbers. We've already studied that what are exactly the creepers and what are the climbers. So forest floor and the trees are also covered with such kind of plants. So over here you can see this is a shrub, right? This kind of plant is the climber, right? On the forest floor you might see creepers, right? All of these are the plants which are present in the forest. These climbers usually climb the long trees and they reach on the top of the tree so that they can reach the sun, right? The creeper on the other hand are usually found on the forest floor. As you can see in this forest, this is quite dense forest, and you will find that over here also, even though we are not looking from the top, but still you are not able to see the land because this is quite a dense forest, right? So there are shrubs in it, there are trees, and below these shrubs there would be smaller herbs and creepers along the floor, right? Now, as you can see, because of the rooftop that was formed by the treetops, right, that when we see that there was a green cover over the land, this green cover does not allow the sun to enter completely. Now, if you think about a land, suppose you're going on a road, right, from your home, say, to your school, you will find that when it is sunny, you are able to feel the whole impact of the sun, that is the light as well as in the heat. But when you are going into the forest, because of the tree covers that are there, the tree covers the land completely, it doesn't allow the sun rays to completely penetrate into the forest area. In the morning also, during the daytime also, it is comparatively darker, right? When you will move outside the forest, you will find that there is a difference between the light that penetrates the forest, whereas the light which is present outside the forest, right? You will find outside the forest the area is quite brighter, right? And also you will find that within the forest the environment is quite cool. The reason is the presence of the trees, which allows the whole environment to become cooler, right? So in this way we see that it becomes, because of the presence of the trees and treetops, it becomes quite dark. And you can imagine, if it is such a dark environment in the morning, during the night it becomes darker. So again, it is not advisable to stay inside the forest when it is after the sunset, because it becomes more and more dangerous, right? Now we are going to perform an activity in which we are going to understand that what are the different products that we obtain from the forest. Like I said, forest was something which we said was our lifeline, right? When we were saying lifeline, there were two important things. One was the oxygen that we are getting from it, and other was the environmental condition that was influenced by the presence of forest. There is one other thing which the forest help us is the various kind of materials that we can obtain. They are materials which we observe around us. What we are going to do in this activity is we are going to go home and we are going to check all the materials that you might think have come from the forest. For example, you can write down that you have the wooden items, right? All the wooden items can be in your list. These wooden items can be plywood, right? It can be fuel wood and so on, right? The furniture which is made up of wood again is a product from the forest. So different kind of materials are obtained from the forest. When we are talking about the types of woods that we obtain, what are these? This is your fuel wood. Fuel wood is the kind of wood which is used by the tribal people to as a fuel. That means they do not have gases, they do not have CNGs and everything. What they use is the wood that they obtain from the forest as fuel to cook their food. Then you have plywood, which is used to make different kinds of furnitures. Then also further you have when you look at matchsticks, that also matchstick, you can see it is a wooden part which is again made up of the forest product, right? Then you will also see furniture around you, right? So this is also made up of wood, right? Apart from the wood that we obtain from the different trees, there are other things also that we obtain. These are things like gums and raisins, right? This is something which is again obtained from certain trees. What we do is, how do we obtain the gums and raisins is that we make a cut like this. As you can see, a cut is made, and that gum which is seeping out of this cut is collected such, right? And then it is utilized. Apart from the gum, apart from the gum, what are the other things that are found? We get spices, fodder for animals, also oils, medicinal plants from the forest areas, right? Some of the things like firewood or the fodder for the animals, all of these things are the things which are utilized by the tribal people or the people those who are living around the forest, right? Whereas other things like your medicines, your wood, that is the plywood, or the gums and raisins and spices, all of these things are utilized by the people living far off from the forest as well, because it is being collected by different businessmen and it is being exported or it is being traded within the country as well, right? So in this way we see how different products are present in the forest which are being utilized by us, right? Now let's talk about growth of trees in the forest. Now you must have seen that the forest consists of different kinds of plants, right? Whether it is your herbs, whether it is your shrubs, whether it is trees. And you will also see that the growth of the trees in the forest occurs quite quickly and easily. You might see within the area, say a forest is say of 50-kilometer area or 120-kilometer area. Within that area, you will find that the same kind of plant, the same kind of tree might be present in the various regions, right? How does this happen? How does the growth of trees occur in the forest? Let's understand that. Now, we know that plants produce a lot of seeds, right? And say this is the very first step where the plant produces a lot of seeds, and these seeds are dispersed to the far off land, or these are taken away from the production from the plant, and these are say dispersed maybe a few kilometers away by the birds, by the animals in different ways. They can eat suppose there is a mango tree. What they do is they eat up the mango and they throw away the seed, right? When the seed is thrown away on the forest floor provides a favorable environment. Why it provides favorable environment? Because forest floor is rich in various nutrients, right? It has a lot of humus in it, that is the organic matter, and provides favorable condition. Also, proper water is provided to that particular seed. It gets proper water, proper temperature, and proper environment for the growth. Then what happens is, once the proper environment is found, or proper the nutrients are there, then proper temperature is present, right? Temperature is correct. Then you also find that there is proper moisture in the environment. All of these are the favorable conditions which causes the plants to germinate, right? The seeds start germinating, and this germination forms a small plant like this, right? And then it keeps on growing, and because of the presence of all of these favorable conditions, it grows into a proper plant. So how does it go? What are the different stages? First of all, there is the stage of the seed, right? Then you have the seedling. After germination, what is formed? Seedling is formed. Then the seedling grows into a sapling, right? And then the sapling grows further to form a tree. Then again the cycle is repeated, where this tree will produce seeds, and then again the seeds will be dispersed off to the different areas of the forest, and again the growth of the trees will happen. In this way, one type of tree is propagated to the further areas in the forest. So suppose this is the whole forest area, and here is a particular type of tree. And after the dispersion, you will find that tree over here, at this place also, at this place also. And in this way, what happens is that the trees are growing, different kinds of trees grow in the different parts of your forest itself, right?